How do you know it's a real twin flame or a false twin? Ha 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 ha. Oh, they done did it. Ooh, sweet baby Jesus. Um, that's a whole lecture. Whew, Jesus. That's a whole lecture, y'all. I got hit with a one-hitter quitter. I got hit with a one-hitter quitter. I got a tiptoe here. I will say this way. And here's the thing. I'm not going to say that it doesn't matter which is which. I'm not going to take that approach. Because ultimately, for anyone who believes that they have a twin flame or had one at any point in time, what it is that you know now to be true, it doesn't make sense either way. So if there's someone at one point in time you felt was your twin and y'all aren't together now, that's totally cool because you have the lesson it is that you needed to learn. But in the most mundane sense, a person who is a false twin flame, to the definition of what a false twin flame is, in contrast to a real twin flame, it would be someone who treats you like shit, would be the simplest way I could say it. It would be someone who perpetuates your past traumas, your past abuse, a person who ignores you and treats you like you're nothing and you're no one and resurrects all of your old traumas. But then at the same time, if like looking at it within the ethos of what twin flames are, that's technically what the ethos believes that a twin does. So it's a sticky situation. But a person who treats you bad, let's just go with that for the time being. It's a person that treats you not nice and abusive. Yeah, that would be the false twin. But y'all know I have a whole ethos on this. And it's like my take on it, it's like for like it's the language is just so hard. Like when you say karmic partner to me is everyone. I believe that you learn karmic lessons through every single person you encounter throughout your life. That's not just designated to one particular person per se, you know? But it's like when you talk about a twin flame union in its most organic sense, you're talking about a divine counterpart. You're talking about two people who know who they are, who know their purpose, who are on a path of ascension that do it inadvertently, together, And it isn't, it's like I feel what a lot of people know that to be up to this point, it's a tainted, degraded understanding of something that once upon a time was considered to be so beautiful, you know? And the way that it's conveyed now, it's not what it was intended to be. And it's not a reflection of light. Like what it's been degraded to now, it's not a reflection of light or of spirit or source to me, you know? So I don't know. I feel that with this whole like revolution that's going on in a sense, it's like the terminology on that is gonna have to change because for a divine counterpart or a divine partnership in general, the understanding of that under the umbrella of it calling it twin flames it's been tainted. You know, it's been tainted very badly. And that's the whole reason why I wrote Motherfuck Twin Flames was because I had researched twin flames before, but it's like people were coming into my office in very abusive relationships and telling me that they had to stay in them because spirit led them there. And spirit said that they needed to stay there. So I don't know. There needs to, it's almost as if the term twin flame, it's almost like it got an infection and we need to clean out the pus in the wound, give it some antibiotics, you know. But it's like a lot of what's talked about what a twin flame union is, it's like a lot of the stuff it's aligned with is so low vibrational, dude. And it's like, and to say that, like, that God would put you into a relationship where a person degrades you as a human being, makes you feel less than who and what you are, and says that you have to put up with that because that's a part of the process. It's like, if we would ever use a really religious term, that's blasphemy. Like, that's blasphemous. It's like, what we know twin flames to be now, and to say that that has anything to do with the divine is blasphemous to me. Like, that's heresy. If we could literally use these super heavy, like, dogma religious words, it's blasphemy and it's heresy, because you don't see God in that anywhere. If this is a union that's a reflection of the divine, unconditional love, the highest vibration of love, where do you see any example of God there? I don't. I don't see God anywhere. But if we talk about, like I told you guys about what that webinar is going to be about, if we talk about this energy that masquerades as light, then what we know the twin flame union to be right now would be that, you know, telepathic abuse, not your twin. Twin flame equals narcissistic personality disorder. I agree. That's not what it was intended to be, man. Twin flames. So 2016, y'all. Leave the ash in the past, upgrade yourself. Yeah, I talk about twin flames in the year of 2016 in the Wokebook. Yeah, man. If you think about it, like a false prophet, like, that's why, like, I was using that illustration of, like, the Antichrist. Like, they talk about the Antichrist coming to power and, like, taking over, and everyone's gonna think like, oh, that's Jesus that came back, but it's really the Antichrist. It's like, looking at that in an illustrative format is like, that's what's happening right now. Like, that's what all of us are befalling to. It's calling up, down, calling left, right. And it's like, people are just going with it. But you wouldn't go with it if you knew, like, if you look at the characteristics of the divine, like, knowing who, like, spirit, God, universe, whatever you want to call it, knowing what that is, like, knowing what the true definition of, like, agape love is, you could use that as a schematic and compare the two. And it's like, that's not what that is. It's a distortion of it. So, like, how I talked about, like, megalomaniac, antichrist, and then false piety, a lot of that falls in the realm of the Likert scale of false piety. It calls codependency being selfless. It calls being a victim being, godly. And that's not what it is. It's a distortion of that concept. But it's like, it's a very insidious energy, though, because it's one of those things, like, they tell you, test the spirit by the spirit. It's one of those things where this energy that we're under the influence of, and I mean this on a society level, to, us person to person, it's a very insidious energy that utilizes a lot of trickery to mislead people, right? So that's where I say it's a game of semantics. And that's the thing that I say, like, why I always say, like, God, source, universe, whichever word works right for you. That's a semantics issue. If a person says God or spirit or universe, it really shouldn't matter, because you understand, like, what the person is talking about. You know what I'm saying? But the term overall it's been tainted by a lot of falsities, and that's why I had to update motherfuck twin flames, because, and I mean, the title of the book is, it's tongue-in-cheek on purpose. Like, I named it that for a reason, but it's not even anywhere remotely near what you would think it would be about with the title. But that's why I had to update it, because it's just a lot of information I've gotten in reference to that whole process that is not time. Like, that's why I say it's like, I had to tiptoe with that real first versus false twin question, because the information that spirit has given me in reference to that, it's not time for me to speak on that yet. I can't speak on it. And a few of my clients that I've had one-on-ones with, when I started doing like the face-to-face readings, there's a few of them who spiritually they're where they need to be, and I've shared it with them, but I've never shared this publicly yet because it's not time for me to say it yet. So it's kind of like I like everyone that's talking about it now, they need to be talking about it now because that script needs to run out. Yeah, I took it down. I'm putting I'm putting the updated version is gonna come out, but I took it down because it's, just right now, it can't be up right now. It can't be up right now. But it's gonna be back up though. Yeah, though the woke book, we got the woke book on deck. Yeah, I do feel like it's a form of division too. Cause I don't subscribe to um like I don't deny the validity of twin flames and its spirit of pride, that separatist thing with it. Hey, giggle. Where it's like, only special types of people have these special types of partnerships because there's special types of callings and special types of levels, and not everyone would understand something so highly vibrational and whatnot or whatever. I never subscribed to that approach of it because I don't feel that's in service to anyone to degrade other people in a sense of like, you're not like us, you can't fit with us, you're not invited to the higher vibe table. So I've never really gone with that ethos of it. You know what I'm saying? I don't really feel like that's helpful. But then at the same time, I look at it two sides when we talk about divine calling and purpose. Um, your purpose is your purpose, whether you have a partner or not. And it's like that's too much pressure to put on another person. It's like, and then it holds you back from stuff you need to do. Like, and I joked about this because I was saying like at once upon a time when like I was younger and I was like in church and stuff like that, I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, if God is showing me all of these things to do with my life, I'm just gonna have to marry a pastor because there's no way a poor little woman like me could ever do something like this without a husband that's a pastor, you know? And it's like your purpose isn't contingent upon you in another human being and another human being acting right. Like that puts everything into question. It's like your purpose is your purpose, their purpose is their purpose, and it's dope as hell if you can come together and do your purpose together. You know what I'm saying? But you first would probably want to know who you are so that you could inadvertently know what your purpose is. And then that person might want to know who they are and know what their purpose is. So you could ever get to start doing anything that's higher vibrational. It's like if we still cheating on wives and things, you know what I'm saying? And meeting each other behind the Burger King at 3:30 a.m. It's like, and the only thing that we doing is fucking. It's like, I don't really see where, I'm not really understanding how this higher mission is coming out of that. I don't. But it's like a lot of it's just been distorted. But I mean, in due time, that's one of those things that's not the Burger King. Feeding each other onion rings and things. But in due time, it's like all of these things you're gonna see them come back, but they're gonna come back slightly different. And I mean, not just for me, I mean, this is like the whole collective. It's like it's a whole cleansing process that's going on collectively, you know. But it's like uh it literally feels like a disease. Like it's like the wound has to get cleaned, and you got to get the pus going and take some antibiotics. You know.